right, welcome back, guys, to a channel where we do not separate and categorize Black people or people of color. I'll tell you what I mean further down into the article, into the topic, but I'm basically referencing the whole FBA conversation that a lot of people love to talk about, but what I am talking about is a topic that I got from Louder MD. Louder MD talked about Djimon Hounsou talking about opening up about systematic racism, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into an article and give you my thoughts on it as well. I think Louder MD expressed my exact sentiments when it comes to the topic, because a lot of people have been saying for years the problem is Black people on a whole, regardless if you're FBA or you're African or you're Caribbean, need to unify, need to come together, and the recognition or the awards that you get from these big organizations in Hollywood or wherever. And to me, this is not just the entertainment industry. Everywhere this needs to happen, so that everywhere people of color are not underpaid or provided with opportunities or environments that are less than. Monique talked about this. Taraji P. Henson talked about this. And sometimes, or a lot of times, the unfortunate thing is their own people don't have that empathy for them. So they're already they're just like the video I just did with Janae Aiko. A lot of people are like, oh, you're rich, so they kind of don't care, or they have this assumption and they don't have the empathy for them. Monique faced that a lot. And then though she spoke out later on, now Viola Davis spoke about it, and she ultimately kind of got blackballed in a way. Anyway, let me go ahead and read the article. So Djimon, this is from Entertainment News. Djimon Hounsou opens up about financial struggles and racism in Hollywood. He reveals he has ongoing financial struggles despite 2 decades in the film industry. Beninese American actor Djimon Hounsou, known for his powerful performances in films like Gladiator and Blood Diamond, recently shared candid thoughts about his ongoing financial struggles despite over 2 decades of experience in the film industry. Speaking on African Voices Changemakers, a popular CNN program, Hounsou revealed that he is still facing significant financial struggles, which he attributes to being underpaid in Hollywood. I'm struggling to make a living, end quote. I've been in the filmmaking business for over 2 decades with 2 Oscar nominations and many blockbuster films, and yet I'm still struggling financially. I'm definitely underpaid, Hounsou explained, expressing his frustration despite his extensive career. In addition to his financial struggles, Hounsou opens up about his experiences with racism in Hollywood. He recounted being overlooked for an Academy Award nomination despite his Golden Globe recognition. End quote, I was nominated for the Golden Globe, but they ignored me for the Oscars because they thought that I had just come off the boat and the streets, he said. Even though I successfully did that, they just didn't feel like I was an actor to whom they should pay any respect. End quote. And I want to insert another industry here, the music industry. Nicki Minaj spoke about this when she was kind of fighting to get into the correct music category. And her and Lotto went back and forth. And that's the reason why I took Nicki Minaj's side in that argument, because the argument, when Nicki Minaj spoke out, was bigger than a tit for tat or back and forth between Nicki Minaj. This was about taking a stand as a Black woman, and regardless if she's FBA, whether she's from the Caribbean, we all need to make a stance for each other. So when the next person behind comes, they will have an easier path. And that's the reason why I would never compare Lil' Kim's career to Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is more outspoken. She goes towards the path of resistance and is not afraid to do so, because she's not only just a musician, she's also, I think Nicki Minaj is a little bit more educated and well-spoken than any other female rapper that I've seen, because you can see when you have a conversation with her, she's able to make points, and I don't know, it's just a whole different thing. So I think that's the reason why she called Lotto a Karen, because the argument or what she was talking about had nothing to do with the behind the scenes back and forth. Anyway, in addition to Djimon Hounsou's financial struggles, Hounsou opened up about his experiences with racism in Hollywood. He recounted, okay, I already read that. He emphasized that despite the industry's increasing focus on diversity, true inclusivity and equality are still far from being achieved. This conceptual idea of diversity still has a long way to go. And I agree on that in many different areas. A lot of workplaces, a lot of different industries, they're pushing the diversity and inclusion, but it still has a box to it, to where this is what we mean when we're pushing diversity and inclusion. But if something different from that, gets, introduced to that idea, I don't know if it's still, if it's accepted or if it's accommodated. So it's still being worked on, basically, as he just said. This conceptual idea of diversity still has a long way to go. Systemic racism won't change like that anytime soon, he stated. So that's the end of the article. But the first thing that I thought of is the fact that if Djimon Hounsou is from, he's been widely recognized. He has all of these awards and accolades, and we see him in, so many big movies over the years. He's 60 years old, and now you're saying that you're underpaid. The first thing that I thought of is those African movies that are on YouTube. I'm not saying that at this point that, he needs to go. Well, actually, I am saying that he does need to go. Those are your people, like Nollywood and things like that. If somebody as big as he is would work with smaller Black-owned or Black-established, companies and organizations, then he can, help with making them bigger. And also, it's almost the same as when you just start out. In a particular industry and you're doing intern work, right? I don't think it should be looked upon negatively if he's not getting as much money at first when he starts working with Nollywood, but he would help to make the brand bigger. Start doing like what Jason Lee did, or like what Tyler Perry has been doing. Create our own award shows and recognitions so that we are not looking desperately to be recognized to these organizations that are not giving us what we deserve. Not only that, a lot of the conversation that surrounds I can't talk. That surrounds separating Black people. They always want to say, like, for Caribbean people or for African people that, for them to go back to their country. But the reality is, if you go over to those countries, there are a lot of Americans over there. When we talk about passport bros, or we talk about people who come there and they are profiting off of that country more than the people who are from there or who live there. So let's get rid of this go back to your country idea, because there's a lot of Americans over there, to be quite honest. There's a lot of other people over there who are profiting off of the foreigners' land, businesses, and stuff like that. So please stop that, because the reality is Black people are all over the place. No matter what the language is or the culture, whatever the case is, we're all Black and people of color rather. And until we fix this, we're just going to be treated like this everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go. So what do you think? This is a topic I'm definitely passionate about, as you can tell. And I think Louder MD did a really good job. I'm going to link the video down below too. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.